I'm reviewing some of the brand new June 1st LEGO Star Wars sets, and it is time for the 75412 Death Trooper and Night Trooper Battle Pack. £18 LEGO set, retailing for £18. Okay, I just said that twice. It's got 119 pieces, marketed for 6+. You get 4 minifigures in 2 Night Troopers, one of which having that grey helmet, which looks absolutely amazing, and then 2 Death Troopers as well. The Imperial dropship build looks a bit goofy, but we'll see how it compares to the Rebel Fleet one from a few months ago. It is a bit strange to me that in the last 2 Imperial Battle Packs, they have both been Imperial dropship builds. That's a bit weird. By the way, if you haven't checked out my review on the Plo Koon Starfighter build, you definitely should. It was about 4 minutes long, it was super fun to make as well. I'm not getting the Darth Maul mech just yet, I just don't see myself spending £16 on a mech I don't really like that much. The only reason I'll be picking it up is to complete the collection, and that is why these are the only June 1st sets I'm going to be reviewing for the time being. Anyway, Plo Koon Microfighter aside, this set does look pretty good. The build does look a bit goofy once again. The box art is set on Peridia, of course, so it looks decent. Turning it around to the back of the box, we just get a look at some of the play features. There is some gun weapon holders, some thrust coming out of the engines, stuff like that. Even some stud shooters, so this does look like a pretty good Microfighter build. But it might be one of the weaker ones in the latest years. We have had some good Microfighter builds we have had some good Battle Pack builds in recent years. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the build of the Night Trooper and Death Trooper Battle Pack. This set does just have the one numbered bag. As you can see here, there is 2 bags, but there is no numbers, so it is just 1 bag. Which is kind of strange, as there is like 30 more pieces than in the Plo Koon Microfighter, but that was 2 bags. So I don't really know what's going on over at LEGO that makes them decide to sometimes do 2 bags for this type of set, and then sometimes do 1, but it's not an end of the world deal. It doesn't impact the build, it's just something that I noticed when putting it together. Now, I have to say, this is an absolutely amazing batch of minifigures for a Battle Pack. You get 2 Night Troopers, one of which having the grey mask, and one of which being a regular one, which you do also find in that Ahsoka Duel on Peridia set. By the way, this set does pair very nicely with that one, as they are both set on Peridia, and you get a nice army build to give that set a much more dynamic look. But if we just focus on this set right now, you also get the 2 Death Troopers, which are absolutely amazing. It's the same head mould as we saw in 2016 with the Rogue One release, and I don't see why they would have had to change it. So this is absolutely a perfect decision from LEGO. And the quote goes, "Don't fix what isn't broken," and that applies here, certainly. An absolutely amazing head mould, and it works here, and the new prints are fantastic too. By the way, all of the minifigures have the zombie head, which is a super unique feature. I think it looks really cool. There's no pupils on it, of course, which actually does make sense for this one. I think that's a really cool feature, which just adds another level of building experience. 4 great army buildable minifigures in a battle pack, no named characters, which is great, so this is a great set to army build. If you want to get 2 or 3 of them, you can make an absolutely amazing Peridia mock, but for me, I'm just going to go with the 1. But I might buy another grey masked Night Trooper just so I have 2 of each minifigure. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on to the build of the Death Trooper and Night Trooper Battle Pack. Finally, the build, and I gotta say, this is rough. It's not the worst Battle Pack build of all time, but it's certainly not the best, and in the next couple of minutes I'm going to talk about why. There's a pair of stud shooters on the bottom, which is fine. They are blended into the design very nicely, and you can barely even see them. And they actually kind of make the design look better, in my opinion. I do like it when a stud shooter does that, it doesn't take away from the actual design. This panel here can pop off, revealing a space for one of your Night Trooper minifigures. There are no studs for him to sit on there, he just slides in and he fits there nicely. In the back you have your typical engines with some thrust coming out of them. They look bog standard, to be honest, if not worse, because they are literally just studs. They didn't even do anything special back here. I do like these, however, they can move around and you can pose them however you like to show the trajectory of the ship, which I think is a fantastic play feature. I think it looks really good. In the middle here, there is some weapon holders, and there are 4 of these in total, so you can display it with all 4 weapons there, which I think looks a lot better in my opinion. For example, just taking that sniper piece there just looks a bit better in my opinion. You can also fit 4 more Night Trooper minifigures on the mock. Sorry, not on the mock, on the set. And they can just stand up there and they can fit very nicely. There are only 3 of them though, so you can't actually fill it up, so you'd have to use the Night Trooper from the other set. So I will just grab that to show the entire set filled. So now I've got my Night Trooper from the Duel on Peridia set, and I'm going to use this one as a pilot just for some symmetry. Okay, so I've finally gotten all my pilots in, and I have to say they do look quite nice in there. I've gone with the Death Troopers at the back, the 2 regular Night Troopers here, and then with the grey helmet one as the pilot, just for some symmetry. And that's how I would recommend doing it. I just like symmetry, it's up to you really. Also, by the way, can we just excuse the lighting? It's getting a bit on in the day and I have no other time to record this review. But I can just name so many different ways that this build could be improved upon. One, by it not existing as a whole. It's a goofy concept and looks nothing like the source material either. They could have at least made it look like the source material, at least put some effort into the build. This looks like it took them 5 minutes to design. I'm very excited for in the next couple of months some alternate builds to come out, because this set does really need it. The minifigures definitely carry this set, and all of this is why I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's a decent armor builder, decent battle pack, good minifigures, absolutely horrendous build, however. But the build is never the main part of the battle pack. The main draw is always those minifigures, and I have to say, this minifigures selection is 10 out of 10, and the minifigure quality is a 9.9. The only problem is the Stormtroopers being like Family Guy ones. Anyway, let me think this set, and thanks for watching. Bye.